What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 88, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Tonight, my last episode of the day is going to be my tight end tier rankings, top 30. We're going to try to conquer the impossible tight end position of fantasy football. And man, it has been a nightmare all year long. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you smash that subscription, turn that bell on. It helps me out a ton. I will be live all weekend long, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Again, different guests on the show, different aspects we're covering the NFL, everything, pick'ems, stardoms, trades, whatever you guys need. We are here to help you guys out. And if you guys want to check out any of my work that I've dropped today, I've done wide receiver, running back, quarterback, my defense top 10 and kicker rankings and waiver wire for tonight for you guys. All my rankings will be done after this video, and then tomorrow I will dive into all my stardom sit-ems, and my goal is to get you guys everything, all my content before kickoff on Thursday. And if you guys can't make any of the live shows, you have any questions, whatever it is, drop them in the comments below. Another goal of mine is to answer every single question. I am here to help you guys win your matchups weekly and get you that ultimate goal of the championship, guys. And let's dive into these impossible tight ends. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my tight end board. So at the top, you're going to see my ball list here. Those are my must-start tight ends. Don't even think about it. Put them in over whatever tight end is below them in my rankings. At the bottom right, you're going to see the teams on a bye. So you have the Dolphins with Jonnu Smith, the Rams with Colby Parkinson, the Vikings with Johnny Munt, if he even matters, as TJ Hawkinson will be back, and Travis Kelce and Noah Gray as well. And the Chiefs are on a bye. And we're probably going to have mayhem in the background. I have my wife and her friends and all the animals over, so I apologize for the background noise, but it's probably going to happen a lot in this video. And then you have David Njoku looking like a multiple week absence here again with the same injury, re-aggravated, so not good on his front. Now, heading into my tight end one of the week right now, this is based off of shootout format for me in this game. So I have Jake Ferguson as my number one tight end, and I have Sam Laporta as my number 5 tight end as the Cowboys take on the Detroit Lions this week. Now, on the Detroit Lions side for Jake Ferguson, the Lions rank 10th against the tight end, 8.1. They rank 18th in the red zone, so high touchdown upside for him in the red zone, and they give up 35 yards a game. But remember, guys, all tight ends have been struggling, so all the numbers are a little skewed no matter how you look at it either way. Now, for Sam Laporta's side, the Dallas Cowboys, they rank 11th versus the tight end, but they rank 27th in the red zone as well. So high touchdown upside for Sam Laporta, giving up 33 yards a game. And I expect this game to be a shootout, man. I expect it to be a lot. The Detroit Lions' strength is their run D. The Cowboys' weakness till recently was their run game, and they've been pass heavy. And Jalen Tolbert looked great with CeeDee Lamb drawing all the coverage. So I think this is going to be a high Amon-Ra, Laporta, CD, massive scoring game, over 50-plus points. I'd say over 60 possibly in this game. Number 2 tight end, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm on board with it, man. Kyle Pitts finally emerged last week. I told you guys, I keep telling you guys, the Falcons are coming, man. The Falcons are going to be a really, really good team this year. And you finally saw Kirk Cousins wake up. And the matchup last week wasn't even that great for Pitts. It wasn't supposed to be a smash game for him, and it ended up being anyways. He caught a 32-yard ball right out the gates, or 33, I don't know what it was. And he dropped 15 points on Tampa. I mean, he had 8 targets, 7 receptions, a massive game for him. That's massive volume for a tight end. And now you get the Carolina Panthers. This is your pot of gold. This is where they're 23rd versus the tight end. They're 23rd in the red zone versus the tight end. And they give up 50 yards to the position, which is actually a lot when you think about it, because tight end numbers have been so bad this year. And I think the connection with him and Kirk Cousins is growing massively. And I almost put him as my tight end 1. Number 3 is going to be George Kittle, Thursday Night Football, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I will also throw up Noah Fant here. No, I'll do that later. So for George Kittle, this guy's a must-start tight end weekly. Absolute superstar on the field whenever he's out there healthy, blocking, leading the team, role leader, everything. One of the best guys in football. The Seattle Seahawks rank 21st versus tight end, give it up 11.3. They're a little better in the red zone. They rank 12th, and they give up 57.2 yards to position weekly. My number 4 skipped it. My number 4 tight end here. I got so much going on. It is Brock Bowers. I messed it up. Brock Bowers coming off his massive 30-point game last week. Who did I have up here at 6? Hang on. We'll get to that in a second, I guess. Yeah, I messed it. I got so many people at the house. It's mayhem right now. But for Brock Bowers, there's going to be no Devontae Adams. And again, in this situation, this is going to be an absolute plus matchup for him every single time he's out there. I just think now that he's starting to hit, that he's going to draw a lot more attention. And you get the Pittsburgh Steelers here, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is absolutely lights out. But their one weak point is the tight end position. So they rank 20th versus the tight end, and they rank 26th in the red zone. So he has a very, very high touchdown upside, but they only give up 38 yards. So in that position, it is a little lower here. My number 6 tight end, see, I mixed it up here, is Trey McBride. Had a good game versus the Niners last week, the Arizona Cardinals, and this is going to be a bigger game for Trey McBride this week. If you've seen any of my other videos, I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to draw Jair Alexander. It's going to be a tough matchup for the wide receivers against the Green Bay corners, and could be more of a Trey McBride game here. And the Green Bay Packers, they struggle versus tight end. 25th versus tight end, 13.1 points per game, 24th in the red zone. So big touchdown upside for McBride and 50 yards a game to the position. All these guys are smash starts, right? So either way you look at it, these are all the superstar tight ends to me this week. I'm banking on Ferguson in a shootout game. Trey McBride's matchup would be the best out of these 6. But again, Kyle Pitts, I feel like, Kyle Pitts' matchup is amazing too. All these guys are smash starts. It's super hard at tight end, but these are my 6 superstars, how I would rank them. I like Ferguson for just a massive blow-up game this week. Number 7, the prince of tight ends right now that everyone's in love with, Tucker Kraft. Back-to-back tight end 1 weeks. I don't believe it. It's crazy to me. He gets the Arizona Cardinals this week now. And the Arizona Cardinals aren't that bad. Even though Kittle found the end zone last week, they rank 18th versus the tight end. They rank 22nd in the red zone, and they give up 42 yards a game. But Tucker Kraft has become an absolute monster of fantasy football. It's like Luke Musgrave doesn't even exist anymore. And I'll pull up Musgrave here as well because I have him in my top 30 because there's so many buys. So I have Musgrave way down here at the bottom. So don't even worry about Luke Musgrave, but he's on my board as well. But Tucker Kraft, 17, 26, 14 targets, 10 receptions, over 100-plus yards, 3 touchdowns. How can you not love it? Ride the lightning. Tucker Kraft's going to be a must start for me as well. My tight end 7. But I think defense is going to start to key on him here a little more. Number 8 is going to be Dalton Kincaid. And this comes down to Josh Allen. So, if Josh Allen isn't out there with the concussion, again, we don't know the injury update. He has not been what I thought he was going to be this season. I thought he'd be the focal point of the offense. He's still seeing good targets in 6 and 7 with 7 receptions, 80 yards over the past 2 games. Only found the end zone once. You get the New York Jets. It's a very tough matchup. The Jets are 3rd versus the tight end, allowing 5.6 points. They're number 1 in the red zone, allowing 0. So very stingy down there, only 25 yards a game. So I know he lines up everywhere, not just a tight end, but I feel like it's going to be a very, very tough matchup for Dalton Kincaid this week. Number 9, Dallas Goedert, coming off the bye week, should be healthy, ready to go. Should have the full trio back, though. So Dallas Goedert really feasted with no Devonta Smith, with no A.J. Brown, and his numbers exploded, right? So if you look at weeks 1 and 2 when they were out there, he had 7 points and 6 points. When you look at the weeks they weren't, he had 28 and 13. So obviously, big jump there when your superstars are out. Now, this week, heading into week 6 here, Dallas Goedert is going to draw the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns are very good versus tight end. They're number 6 overall. They give up 6.9 points. They are number 4 in the red zone. They give up 0.3 per game and 34 yards a game. So the Cleveland Browns are very good, but again, we're in tight ends, and this is you play Dallas Goedert if you have him, just because this is such a hard position to finagle with and figure out. Number 10, Pat Freiermuth is catching fire, guys. This is a beautiful matchup for Pat Freiermuth getting the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are in absolute shambles right now. Just lost Wilkins, their DT. They paid a massive amount of money to. Their head coach, Pierce, doesn't know how to run the ball. They can't figure out what's going on with Devontae Adams. They don't have a starting quarterback yet. Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. And Justin Fields is like the starter again. He's prepping for the week 6 start, and Pat Freiermuth's numbers are getting better and better and better as their chemistry grows. So if I'm looking at it, this guy's seeing like a 10-point floor for the past 3 games. That's what you want in a tight end this season because it's hard to find points at all at the tight end position. And I'm going to keep Pat Freiermuth in my top 10. Jumping up to number 11 here, this is massively based on the statistics of the defense here. So Zach Ertz. Most people are going to have Zach Ertz really low, not me. I like to play the numbers here. So the Baltimore Ravens, guys, rank 29th versus the tight end, giving up 14 points a game to the position. They do rank 9th in the red zone. They stingy up in the red zone, but they give up 73 yards to the position. If Zach Ertz is out there, your tight end is on a bye, or you have an injury to David Njoku or something like that, Zach Ertz is going to be a great play this week. He's probably going to be a floor of 7-8 points, possible touchdown upside, and I'm not against starting him in a great matchup where they favor the tight end here. Number 12, finally, he's back from injury. The guy that I was so high on all year long of drafting for strategy around your roster was Evan Ingram, and he gets freaking hurt right away out the gates of the season. So, looks like from the updates today, I'm pulling it up right now, it looks like it says likely to return in week 6. Obviously, this is not official. If Brenton Strange is out there, he might be a decent play in this matchup. But you get the Chicago Bears here, guys. Chicago Bears rank 8th versus the tight end, 7.4, but they do rank worse in the red zone. They rank 20th in the red zone. So touchdown upside here for Ingram as well. And they give up 32 yards a game. And it's his first game back off injury. I'm not going to put, just because I'm biased and I like Evan Ingram so much, I'm not going to jump him up the rankings just because it's Evan Ingram and he's back. Temper your expectations a little bit here. Heading down to tier 2, number 13 and number 14 here. Dude, Mark Andrews finally saw some volume here. It's good to see. It's good to see him back in rhythm here. But this is a very tough matchup for the Ravens. And it sounds crazy to say because it looks like a shootout game could be, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, massive shootout game. Isaiah Likely with 2 touchdowns last week on 3 targets. So, I mean, his volume was even low, but he made the best of it. But when I look at the Washington Commanders, dude, they're 5th versus the tight end. So all the badness of their defense, yards allowed, everything like that, wide receiver were worst, running back were really low. Tight end is their strong point. This is what they cover well. Mark Andrews and Likely, I do not like that much this week in the matchup. But again, if you have Mark Andrews, you're probably starting him just because he had a decent game. And there's possible shootout potential here. So you could possibly get a touchdown. But the matchup just doesn't scream like it's great to me this week. Number 3 in tier 2, my tight end 15, Tyler Conklin. This guy is startable weekly at this point at the tight end position. He's averaging 6 targets a game, and he's been productive. I mean, you can say whatever you want that he, he's not flashy. He's kind of a boring tight end, but he's a boring tight end that gives you a floor. So his past 3 games is 14, 11, and 6. He's averaging about 9 to 10 points a game as a tight end. And again, like what I'm saying with Zach Ertz, that's what you want with a tight end. You get the Buffalo Bills in this matchup. And the Buffalo Bills are very good versus the pass, versus the wide receiver, but this is their weak spot as the tight end. They rank 17th versus the tight end. They rank 21st in the red zone, so there's a high touchdown upside for him, and only 38 yards. But again, all the numbers when you look at yards for the tight end position are very low. So I'm okay with the Tyler Conklin dart throw start if you need, and I'm okay with the Cade Otton dart throw if you need as well. Moving on to my number 16 tight end here, and Cade Otton has just been peppered with targets, guys. The matchup he has is amazing as well. This is the Saints' weak point. And if I'm looking at Cade Otton, he has 21 targets over the past 3 games. That's 7 targets a game. He's averaging 50 yards every single game in all 3 of those games. Obviously, he hasn't found the end zone yet. But you get the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints are 22nd versus the tight end, giving up 12.2 points a game. And they rank 13th in the red zone, but they give up 64 yards to the tight end position. That is top 5 worst in the NFL at yardage. So you may have a big smash game here. Well, I mean, hold the horses, not smash game, but a good tight end production game here from Cade Otton this week. Heading down to tier 3, the guy that I was just so high on that nothing has really hit yet is Hunter Henry. And he had that one big splurge week, but now you get the Houston Texans, and man, I would have Hunter Henry a lot higher. You get Drake May out there now starting quarterback. This would be a security blanket. But the Houston Texans are 2nd versus the tight end. They're allowing 5.3 points in the position. They allow 1.4 in the red zone. They rank 11th. And only 16 yards a game to the tight end position. That is 2nd best in the NFL. It's going to be a struggle for Hunter Henry this week. That's why I have him so low. Number 17, interesting here. I mean, sticking with the same game, you get the New England Patriots versus the Texans here. Dalton Schultz. You do have Nico Collins out, so possibly a little bump here for Dalton Schultz. I just don't trust it. His volume hasn't been there all year. They rank 19th versus the tight end. They rank 15th in the red zone. And they give up 53 yards. So a higher amount of yards for them. They are in the top 15 or top 10 of yards allowed to tight end. But again, you're going to have Tank Dell back out there healthy. You're still going to have Diggs. We don't know the situation with Mixon yet. The volume just hasn't been there. He's super touchdown dependent. He's probably on most wires. And I haven't been a fan of Dalton Schultz. I didn't draft him in any leagues. I told people to stay away. And you're finding out why. Heading down to number 3 in tier 3 here. It's going to be Taysom Hill. And this one's interesting. Now, I rank him here because I don't know about his injury yet. So check his status throughout the week. He had a rib injury last week, stayed out the game. But now you have Derek Carr out, and you are going to get Kendre Miller back off IR as well. So there's a bunch of variables here. Jamal Williams is still out there as well. We don't know if it's going to be Rattler or Hayner at quarterback. You could see some Taysom Hill packages for sure. I mean, I'm not against that at all. I'm okay with the wild card start this week if you want to start him. I usually don't like that. But, I mean, with the quarterback injury, it could be a massive play with Taysom Hill. But again, it's that big boomer bust, Joker shot if you want to take it. Man, number 20, Eric All Jr. I thought the big breakout game was coming because the Baltimore Ravens were really weak versus the tight end, and you had a shootout game, and he didn't pop. I had him in a lot of slips. It did not hit. I'm very mad about it. But now, I mean, he is taking the job, though, from Mike Gesicki. You can fully see this. The snap share has leaned his way for the past 2 weeks now, so I'll pull up Mike Gesicki here. He's at 21 as well for me. And when I'm looking at their matchup, so you're going to have the Cincinnati Bengals off a big game where they drop massive points, use no tight ends. That's the weird part to me. They get the New York Giants this week. The New York Giants riding high off a win over Seattle at Seattle with no Malik Neighbors. I'm still blown away by that 100%. I couldn't believe that happened. That was like one of my locks was to take them to lose that game. But, that's the NFL. It's always scripted differently. The New York Giants rank 16th versus tight end. They rank number 1 in the red zone versus tight end with 0 points allowed, but they give up 46.2 points per game. So there is opportunity here. These are more like DFS dart throw plays from here on out. So I'm going to kind of rapid fire to this end here because these tight ends at the bottom are rarely started unless you're in super deep leagues. Noah Fant gets the 49ers. You get Fred Warner there. I leave him at number 20. I don't really like starting him ever with the 3 wide receivers you have and the volume share out there. Juwan Johnson may be interesting as a dart throw here because you could have Rattler or Hayner, and Rattler will look for a security blanket. Could be Juwan Johnson. Don't love it. Don't hate it. Not thrilled by it. You get the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are bad versus tight end. They rank 27th, 13.2. They're very bad in the red zone too. They rank 31st. So this is a great dart throw opportunity with a possible touchdown upside, and they give it 50 yards to the tight end position. But again, this was likely in Andrews last week that blew these numbers up against them in a shootout game. So they're kind of skewed. But, I mean, if you need a dart throw shot, this is one of the best dart throw shots according to, my analysis and statistics on this. Man, next, I hope you guys were watching my videos since week 1. Theo Johnson, guys. Theo, Penn State rookie Johnson. I know that Neighbors was out, which was why his numbers bumped up a little bit here. But, man, like I've been telling you since week 1, he's been playing 80+% snap share in the top 5 of the NFL, not coming off the field, and finally got some volume. 5 targets, 5 catches, 48 yards, 10 points. That's what you want in a tight end weekly. And I know that you're going to get Neighbors back, so his numbers are probably going to drop a little bit. But I am keeping my eye, and I've been saying since day 1 to keep your eye on Theo Johnson because I liked him a lot out of Penn State, and he's starting to hit the scene here a little bit. Cole Kmet gets the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars funnel so many passes to the wide receiver. This is their strength as the tight end. They rank 13th versus the tight end, but in the red zone, they rank 29th. So there is a high touchdown upside for Kmet, but I don't like it here in this game, especially with Rome, Keenan, and DJ out there. He's kind of 4th fiddle or 5th fiddle if you even count DeAndre Swift in the passing game. So he's not someone I'm really interested in this week because Jacksonville gives up so many points to the wide receiver. They just funnel to the wide receiver. Next behind him is Chig Okonkwo. And if you guys made it this far into the video, this is what you want to listen to here. Chig Okonkwo, I'm not safe at all. I don't trust him in any single way. I have him this low for a reason. But every single game from here on out, if your tight end is a top tight end and it plays the Indianapolis Colts, you want to smash start that tight end. So if you want a dart throw this week, if you want a DFS play, again, like Juwan Johnson, good matchup, it's the Indianapolis Colts. They rank 31st versus the tight end, giving up 15.2 points. They rank 32nd in the red zone, giving up 6 points there. And they give up 53.8 points per game. That's 4th worst against the tight end. The Colts struggle everywhere. So I don't like Chig at all as a 12-man, 1 quarterback start, in any safe way. But from here on out, whatever tight end you have, you start them versus the Colts if they're top 10 to 15 tight end because they really struggle versus the tight end position. Starting down at tier 5, Dawson Knox. The Buffalo Bills, they get the Jets. Like I said with Dalton Kincaid, tough matchup. He's just the bottom barrel of my tight ends here. And Greg Dulcich and Jatavion Sanders are going to round out the end. I talked about Luke Musgrave here. The Denver Broncos just don't want to use a tight end for some reason. I really liked Greg Dulcich's upside at UCLA. I like he's second in the tight end award. I forget the name of the award. He's a big time athlete. They just don't use him right. And Jatavion Sanders is stuck in a Dave Canales system. If you watched it last year, Cade Otton ran 97% of the snaps and did nothing with them. I really like Jatavion coming out of Texas, but it looks like he's probably going to be a non-factor all year long, even with Andy Dalton at the helm. That is the end of episode 88, everybody. My tight end week 6 all-tier rankings besides the teams on the bye. Thanks for rocking with me today. If you stuck through all the videos, I got all my rankings out today. So you have my kicker, my defense, top 10 of each, plus a streamer. You have my waiver wire for tonight, pickups if you need those. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, all done today. That is my goal as a content creator, guys, is to get all my content out to you by Thursday before kickoffs. So tomorrow I'll be smashing out all my stardom sit-ins as well. And before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like, smash that subscription button, turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. I will be live all weekend long. It helps me out a ton. You guys have no idea. And if you guys cannot make any of the live streams, you can drop any comment you want down below. That is another goal of mine as well, is to answer every single one of them. It's not just I want to just be pumping out content. I want to be answering, communicating with the community, helping you guys get your weekly wins and get you that ultimate goal of a championship, guys. And that is it for me today, man. I am gassed out, tired. I got all the videos out. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for all the support. It's been amazing. SleezBall out.